Hello everyone, welcome back. Severt is here, coming back with part 4 of What If Deku Had the Ultimate Tricks. Now, where we last left off, Izuku was doing his vigilante work, as after a couple of hours doing his vigilante work, he saw his mother being robbed by villains, as he saved her, as after that he come back to his house before she came back, so she doesn't know that he's actually the vigilante that goes by the name Ultimate. As we continue in the morning, as Izuku woke up from his sleep, after waking up, he goes into the kitchen as his mother say, "Oh, good morning, Izuku." Izuku answer with, "Good morning, Mom." As his mother said, "Here, your breakfast on the table. Go eat it and prepare to your school." As he said, "Okay, Mom." And then Izuku eating his breakfast, his mom turned on the TV. As she turned it on the news, as the news reporter said, in the last night, the famous vigilante that goes by the name Ultimus has strike again, killing 5 villains in an alleyway. As he continued telling, the transporter continued telling, "We find the 5 bodies dead on the ground, with electrocuted alive to death. This is such a painful way to go." As his mother said, "Oh dear." As Izuku looks at his mom, as she said, those are the 5 guys that attacked you last night?" As she answered with, "Yes, he's that Ultimate guy. He's the one that saved me." As he said, "Well, I'm thankful that he saved you, but this is cruel." As his mother answered with, "Yeah, but I'm also thankful. If it wasn't for him, I wasn't going to be here." As after that, they continue their breakfast, talking, joking a little bit, as Izuku goes to UA after saying goodbye to his mother. As he, in his way going to UA, he doesn't know that someone is actually watching him. A guy with a lot of knives on his body and a katana on his back, standing on the roofs, looking at him. As he said in his mind, "This kid, so he is the vigilante Ultimate. He is a true hero indeed. But why is he going, if he going to UA, why is he doing vigilante work if he gonna become a hero? Unless," as the guy, when he said in his mind, when he said unless, he's give a little grin on his face as he chuckles a little bit, saying, "This is a very smart kid. I will gonna meet him one day. I will gonna talk to him." As the guy leave Izuku alone, stopping watching him from far, as when Izuku finally got into UA, he goes into his classroom, as Shota Aizawa saying, "Good morning, students. Today I'm not gonna actually teaching you. Today we will be having a very special guest that he will gonna take the parts of my work today." As Aizawa cover himself with his sleeping bag, as he sleep on the floor under the desk, as everyone start talking with them, with the others, talking who will gonna be the new teacher that will gonna teach them now. as Izuku sitting on his desk, just experimenting with his Ultimatrix as always. As while he is experimenting, they heard a loud stepping sound from the hallway. As and then, after the sound stopped, the door of their class opens up, revealing All Might saying, "I am here," coming through the door like a normal person. As everyone starts saying, "Oh my god, it's All Might, that's so cool." And Mina and everyone is just happy seeing All Might, the number one hero. That he will gonna be their teacher today. That's just so great. As Izuku say, in his mind, All Might. I wonder what he gonna teach us. As Kirishima sitting on the Izuku left side, saying, "Hey, Izuku, can you stop doing? What are you even doing with your watch?" As Izuku said, "Oh, I'm experimenting." Uh, and then Kirishima said, "Experimenting? What do you mean?" But before Izuku answered, All Might said, "Well, student, today I'll be your teacher, and this day is a special day since we will gonna do a hero versus villains exam." As they say, "Whoa, heroes versus villains? Uh, are we gonna fight robots again?" As he said, "Of course not. You can't just train yourself to fight robots all the time, right?" As All Might said, "Meet me at the uh, what they call it? Uh, training ground area, training ground A." As they say, "Okay, All Might." As All Might answer with, "But before you go," as they say, "you can't be heroes without your costumes, right?" As All Might press a button, All Might is press a button that reveal the hero costume of the student. As they start getting so excited, and then goes to the changing room. As after everyone change up and everyone going to the training ground the the training area. I don't give a shit about. I don't care. Just whatever they were in it. They start talking with them with. They start talking about how their costume looks cool and starting talking in general. As the last one that came is Izuku. Well, Izuku outfit is basically what Albedo wears normally, but imagine his left arm, the Ultimatrix. As they say, "Hey, Izuku," as Kirishima said, "Izuku, nice suit you have there." As Izuku answered, "Thanks, Kirishima, and you have your hero costume is great." As Kirishima said, "Thanks, but don't you have anything to defend yourself with? Because your costume looks very, I'm not trying to insult you or anything, but very normal." As Izuku said, "I have much than what you. There is much to my costume. There is a lot much to my costume more than you eyes can see." As he said, "What?" As Izuku take his leather jacket, open it up, revealing a knife and a couple of smoke bombs, and also revealing what they call it, quirk canceling device. As he said, "I in any situation when I run out of energy, I'll at least have something to defend myself with." As Kirishima said, well, that's smart of you. And Izuku said, and also my costume is made of a special material that it doesn't burn a lot, made out of my hair. As he said, well, great, you are have a good costume. It's not that very flashy, but it's sure good. As he said, thanks, Kirishima. As All Might interrupting everyone, saying, well, student, you should stop talking because we need to and start this exam right now. As All Might continues saying, uh, as I look at you, they say the clothes make the pros, and right now, kids, you're looking like true heroes. As he said, well, the how this will exam will gonna go, we will gonna do, as I said before, it's a heroes versus villains exam, which as Ida raises his hand up and saying, are we gonna fight robots? As All Might said, didn't I already told you that we want to fight robots? Yeah, as Ida answered with, then who are we gonna fight? All Might answer, well, of course you will gonna fight each other. As everyone look at each other, as All Might said, but not in this open area. You will gonna fight inside there. As he pointed at the building. As he continues saying that the villains will have a bomb inside this building. Inside this building, they have 5 minutes to defeat the heroes, or at least making them staying in their way until the 5 minutes ended, which will gonna make them win. But the heroes, their job is to touch that bomb and to touch the bomb, which make them win, or to capture the villains with this tape. As he showed them this tape in his hand, as Mina Uraraka said, then who, how are we gonna do that? Who will gonna be with who and who will gonna be against who? As All Might answered, that's will gonna be randomly. As he continues saying, you, in some situation, you will not know who will gonna be your partner. Sometime we will gonna be not able to choose who you will gonna work with. As this exam train you to prepare you into a situation like this. As he continues saying, all the villains attack that you see on the news on the TV are normally outside in the street, but true very dangerous villains stay always hidden in the shadows. Imagine this: secret entrance, layer underground, and things like that. A places only the dangerous villains will be in. And that's why we gonna start our training inside that building. As All Might said, well, let's start this exam already. I talk too much. As All Might starting doing the team heroes versus villains, as the teams are Izuku Midoriya, as he said, first team Izuku Midoriya and Kiroshima against Katsuki Bakugo and Shota Todoroki. As he continues saying, Izuku Midoriya, Kiroshima, you are will gonna be the heroes, while Katsuki Bakugo and Shoto Aizawa will be the villains. As the Shoto and Bakugo, as All Might continues saying, Bakugo and Shoto, you have 5 minutes to put your bomb in a place in this building, and to prepare a plan or to put some traps. as they nods as they go to the building. As and Bakugo in his mind saying, "Yes, I'm gonna have finally a chance to demolish that stupid nerd Deku." As he continues saying, "Fine, I will finally show him my true power." As we cut a few days before this, as Bakugo in the hospital, the doctor tell him, "Well, Bakugo, looks like you fully healed. Your bones, look at this x-ray." As the doctor show him an x-ray of his bones and whole body, as he said, "This how your body was before when you fall out of the roof. But now you have, after 10 months and few weeks, your body is fully healed by not using your quirk too much, and I really didn't think you gonna stop using your quirk. And of course, a little bit of help of the, well, what they call it, the recovery girl. You are fully healed and you can use your quirk as much as you want, but you still have the drawbacks of your bones start hurting you if you use a very big explosion, of course." As Bakugo said, "Finally, thanks, Doc." As the doctor said, "No problem, you can leave now." As Bakugo leaves, as we cut back to the um, heroes versus villains exam, as Todoroki and Bakugo put the mom in the building, as Kirishima and Izuku in the outsides preparing starting to go in. I mean, in the 5 minutes. As Kirishima said, "Okay, easy, bro. What will..." What I just said? What the hell did I just say? I mean, you know how Kirishima always called Bakugo Baki, bro. I was like trying to make them friend or something. Let's go with that. Okay, easy, bro. This is so wrong. As he just called him, "Okay, Midoriya, what's the plan?" As Izuku answered with, "Well, do you want to go the easy way or the hard way?" As he said, "What do you mean?" As Izuku answered with, Do you remember that ghost freak that I transformed when we were in the changing room, when I make that, you know him, Mineta, scared as hell?" As Kirishima remembered that, as he said, "Ugh, you transform into that thing you call him. What do you call him anyway?" "I call him Ghost Freak," Izuku answered. As he said, "Don't remind me, I couldn't sleep that night." As Izuku answered with, "Yeah, sorry, but he's basically a ghost, so I can go through walls if I use it, and I can be camouflaged, do it, basically disappear and go through walls, because he's a ghost after all." As Kirishima said, "Well, I mean, this will be very easy if you actually use it, but can you please not? I rather not see you turning into him again." As Izuku said, "Fine, then you want the hard way." As uh, as Kirishima said, "And I also want to show everyone what I can do." As Kirishima starts hardening his body, uh, as Izuku chuckles, "Then let's make a plan." As in the, what they call it, the room where everyone watching the exam of the heroes versus villain, All Might tell everyone to listen to. All Might says, Well, student, here we will gonna watch what will happen in the Heroes vs. Villain exam. As All Might said, I want you to focus on the plan that Izuku Midoriya and Kirishima will gonna talk about right now. As they all looking at the camera that show Izuku and Kirishima, as Izuku saying to Kirishima the plan right now. As well, Kirishima, listen. From what I know about Bakugo, he will gonna immediately rush at me since he's hating me as hell. As Kirishima said, and why he's hating you? Aren't you supposed to be friends or something? As Izuku said, friends? Me? And him? Hell no. He hates me, I hate him, we hate each other. So never think about we are friends. As Kirishima said, well, okay, I don't know what's happened between you, but whatever you say, Izuku. As he continues saying, well, this is the first part. Yeah, Bakugo will gonna immediately rush at me, which will gonna give you the chance to run and fight the mob, because he won't care if you even passed him. He will only want me, as I will gonna take care of him. And now we have the second problem, as it will be Todoroki. As from what I know about him so far, he hates using his fire side, because I don't actually know so far why he doesn't want to use it, but he uses only his ice. As I expect him, once we gonna start the exam after the 5 minutes of preparing, he will gonna froze the entire building, which will gonna froze our legs with it, trying to make us stay in our place. And I think he will gonna also freeze the bomb so we can't touch it. As in the uh, in the room where everyone is, they hear the plan. They hear Izuku telling all the weak points of the Bakugo and Todoroki, as they say, as Momo said, how he even know all this information? As All Might said, well, that kid have very strong eyes. He maybe doesn't have an intelligence quirk, but he's so smart indeed. As Izuku continues with the plan, telling Kirishima that you will be perfect for Todoroki because, well, you can't use fire, but your hardening will be very perfect. So when you harden, you can go through his ice so easy, even if he freezes you. But you will have to break his ice on the mob before you touched. As I will gonna take care of Bakugo, okay? As Kirishima said, okay, okay, Midoriya. As Izuku starts looking through his transformation, as Kirishima said, well, what are you gonna transform into if you want gonna transform into Ghost Freak, as you call it? Ugh, that was real scary. As he said, well, if I turn into fire, I'll be able to melt the ice. Heat Blast, I mean. You call him Heat Blast? That's a good name, as Kirishima said. Izuku continues saying, well, I can turn into Heat Blast, but if I turn into him, that will gonna make Bakugo start sweating more, because more that he sweat, more that he explosion gets stronger and stronger. But if I didn't turn into him, I will gonna have some problems where by defeating. If I turn into Big Shell, I will be able to stop Bakugo. But I won't be that good at stopping. I forgot. Todoroki. As while he's continuing with with the plan. He said, I will not gonna transform for right now. I will use my half transformation. As Kirishima said, okay, Midoriya. As All Might said, well, are you prepared? Because the 5 minutes has ended. So, heroes, go in there. As as Izuku and Kirishima bump fists together as they go in. As first they put a leg inside, the whole building starts freezing. As once it froze up, their legs stuck in the ice. As Kirishima said, "Well, you was right. You were right. He actually froze the whole building." "I told you," Izuku answered. As he turned his right arm into Heat Blast arm, which melted the ice away. As they start to go, he lights his hand with fire to make sure the ice melts from the heat. As in the room where the bomb is, Sho Todoroki is surprised, saying, "Wait, why didn't they end the exam right now?" As Bakugo said, "Looks like your plan has failed. Well, I'm gonna go after Deku. You stay here and protect the bomb, understand?" As Shota said, "Well, okay. Hold them back if you can." As he said, "Whatever, Icy Hot." As he leave the room and go to search for Izuku and Kirishima. As Kirishima and Izuku just going through the building, as they hear from the very far away someone's screaming, "Deku!" As all of the sudden an explosion goes in their faces. As Kirishima was able to harden before the explosion hit them, as he protect Izuku. As Izuku said, "Thanks, Kirishima." As Kirishima answered, "No problem." As after the smoke cleared, they see Bakugo saying, "Kirishima, get out of the way. I have a problem with this transformation boy." As Kirishima said, "Well, you have to go through me first." As Izuku said, "No, Kirishima, remember the plan." As Kirishima said, "But I said go," Izuku said. As Kirishima nods, and after that, he get out of Izuku's way, revealing Izuku with his uh, heat blast right arm as he throw a fire ball at Bakugo, which make him go back a little bit, which give enough time to Kirishima to continue and pass Bakugo. Bakugo looks behind, seeing Kirishima leave. As he looks back, as he see Izuku saying, "Don't get distracted," as he throw another fireball at him. Bakugo dodges it and throw an explosion at Izuku. Izuku using Wrath agility and acrobatic skills, he dodged. As Bakugo said, "I was waiting for this moment since the time that you did, since the last day of the middle school. And now I will show you that even with your quirk, you still the same idiot, stupid nerd Deku." As Izuku said, well, I also was waiting for this moment to show you that I'm not done yet." As Izuku transformed his left arm into Wrath Claws, as he starts rushing at Bakugo, as Bakugo gets surprised with how fast Izuku is, as he's just jumping on the walls, on the roof, as he slash Bakugo in the side of his in the side of his body, Not a very deep slash, but enough to make him feel a little bit of pain. As he said, "Ugh, damn it, Deku!" As he throw an explosion back on his back. As he turned around and throw an explosion at Izuku, Izuku didn't get enough time to dodge that attack. He getting hit in his back, which make him goes back a little bit. As in the in the room where the student and All Might are, they seeing the fight. As they say, is Izuku really gonna use his claws? And when did he even has this? As All Might said, well, he has more in transformation, as he told me. As they asked him, wait, did he told you about his quirk? All Might said, not everything, but something. He said that he can transform into a lot of different creatures. But I didn't know that he can. But I don't know what part of this. What's a part of this? What creature he's using? Sorry, guys. But I don't know where this clause came from. As we come back to the fight, as Izuku de-transform his right arm of Heat Blast into the mummy right arm. As he after that he throw his what they call it, toilet paper. I am I really gonna call it toilet paper? I don't really. Give me a minute, guys. Okay, we continue. As he throw his right arm at Bakugo, wrapping it around his body, which Bakugo in his mind said, "Damn it, leave me!" As he start to throw explosion, but with no use, as Izuku make Bakugo come closer to him, as he about to stab him with his left arm, which is the arm of Wrath. As before he stab him, Bakugo throw an explosion under his feet, so he can jump in the air, jumping above Izuku's head. As everyone in the camera's room saying he was about to stab him. Is he really want to hurt him that much? As All Might said, I'm sure he has a plan. He won't gonna just go doing things like that. I'm trusting in this kid. As they say, you really trust him, right? So much, don't you think? As he said, well, before he even got into UA, he actually saved a kid from a villain attack. As they said, really? And as All Might said, yes, and I was impressed in his power. He even didn't do that much damage to the area around of him. He just defeated the villain, saved the kid, and without that much damage. He was so smart using his quirk. As we cut back into the fight, as Izuku in his mind, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you right here. I'm gonna kill you right here, Bakugo. As Bakugo in his mind, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you right here, Deku. As two of them just rushing at each other with killing intense in their eyes. As after a little bit of time, Bakugo said, that's enough. Let's come back to this photo. As he said, that's enough. You see these things, Deku? As he pointed the gauntlet on his hand, he said, continuously saying, these are was collecting my sweat all this time. As he said, and now they are fully charged, so I will gonna give you one heck of an explosion. As All Might saying on the microphone, Bakugo, no! If you do this, you will gonna kill him. As Bakugo answered, not if he dodges. As he, using his gauntlet, throw the explosion at Izuku. As Izuku, before the explosion hit him, he turned into Ghost Freak. As when he turned into Ghost Freak, the explosion goes, but after the explosion goes and the smoke clean up, they don't see anything. All of the students think that Izuku is actually dead, as Bakugo, he's looking around saying, Deku, stop playing your tricks, I know you are there. As All Might said, Bakugo, what have you done? As before Bakugo said anything, from behind, a guy, you know how Big Chill wrap his wings around his body. He's looking like he's wearing that. As his his normal state, not this when he opened his wings. As he from behind, he touching him, saying in he's touching him as his Bakugo's body start to get frozen. As Izuku say in Bakugo's ear, saying, "You are done." As he frees up Bakugo's body, putting him in a cube of ice. As Bakugo can't move and can't throw explosion anymore. As Izuku wrapped the tape around the frozen Bakugo, as All Might said, Katsuki Bakugo is out of the fight, is being captured. As everyone say, phew, Izuku has really give us a heart attack. All Might said, I actually thought that he died there. As they say, now what this transformation is? Do you know what this transformation is, All Might? As he said, no. I doesn't. The only transformation that I know about was that human, that what they call it, dinosaur, and the speed fast guy, and the, as he call it, heat blast. That's the only three that I know about, and of course that big creature that we all saw on the internet. As all the students actually remember the video, as they said, yes, we actually forgot that he even can transform into that. Jeez. As we cut back, after Izuku frozen Bakugo in a cube of ice and wrapping the capture tape around him, he de-transformed into his human body, looking at the Ultimatrix. As he de-transformed, he's looking at the Ultimatrix, saying that he still have some energy left. As after that he goes into the room where Kirishima and what they call it. Why I always forget their names. Shoto Todoroki are. As he goes in, he's saying Shoto and Kirishima fight. As Izuku said, Kirishima, I came. As Kirishima said, good timing. You didn't get late at all. As he said, as Izuku looked at him as he saying that Kirishima have some red lightning go around him, as he's in his mind saying, Did did All Might choose Kirishima to be his successor? I will ask him about that. And after we end this, as he looks at Shoto, as he said, Are you give up? As they said, as Kirishima said, Hell no, I'm not giving up. Not after my partner is here. As Izuku flipped the dial of the Ultimatrix, transforming into Echo, not the Ultimate, but the normal one. As after the LED light cleanup, the Shoto was expecting to see Heat Blast, but he see a little white guy with red eyes and big red mouth. As Kirishima said, Izuku, aren't you gonna transform into the fire guy? Heat Blast, you call it? As Izuku Echo said, Well, I was planning to, but I doesn't have enough power. So this have to do for now. As he said, what this can little guy of yours do? As Izuku starts splitting up, making five clowns of himself, as he starts screaming at Shoto Todoroki, as Todoroki starts to putting his hand on his ears, screaming in pain as he said, stop this! As he shoots ice at Echo. But before the ice hitting him, the ice starts to blow up because how much is hurt. The sound is so strong that he even broke the ice off Todoroki. As one of the clowns of Echo said to Kirishima, stopped screaming and said, Kirishima, go touch the bomb. As Kirishima said, right. As Kirishima goes to touch it, but he said, but there is an ice on there. He starts. No, I'm sorry. I mean, he's hardening his body, start to destroy the ice around the bomb, and then touching it. As after he touching it, Izuku stopped screaming at Shoto that he was on the ground, putting his hand on his ear, saying, putting all the clones of himself back into the original one, as he de-transformed into his human body. As when he de-transformed, he said, I didn't even need my fire form to defeat you. As Shoto still on the ground in pain, as he stand up looking at Izuku angry, saying, I'll defeat you next time. As Izuku said, you won't ever defeat me if you continue using your half power. As All Might in the microphone said, the hero team wins. As Kirishima tried to help Shoto to stand up, as Shoto said, I'm fine, thank you. As he stand up, and they all go. As after that, and the camera's room, All Might, after everyone came back, All Might said, well, that was a great fight indeed, but as he looked at the other student, as they say, do you know who is the MVP of this fight? As Momo said, it is Izuku, of course. As All Might said, well, yes, you are right, Momo, but can you tell us why he is the MVP of this fight? As Momo said, how Izuku expecting the first move of his enemies, and how he puts a plan, and all the things that he does was right. Well, You are right, Momo, but he did a mistake in the Bakugo's fight. As he said, he didn't. We all saw in the end how the thing goes after Izuku using that blue guy, where as almost telling him, "What do you call it?" He said, "Big shell." As All Might said, "Well then," as he transformed into that big shell guy, we saw how he easily froze Bakugo in his place after appearing from nowhere. As he was, let's say that he was always able. I'm sure he was able to transform into that, but he chose to not, making some damage into the building, which is a very wrong thing if you are a hero. We, as heroes, we want to capture villains and capture villains with as much as possible with no harm as possible to the area around us. Remember that, as the other fights go the same, except of course the one that the guy's not in. I mean, I basically put the four strongest students in one fight. As after the day of school ended, um, what they call it, Izuku and Kirishima and Uraka walked together. As Kirishima and Izuku talking, saying, "Well, you done great in the Heroes vs. Villains, Izuku." As Izuku says, "Thanks, Kirishima, but I want to ask you a question." As Kirishima said, "Sure, what's your question?" Izuku would not, he didn't. Izuku tell to Kirishima, "Are you All Might's successor?" As Kirishima said, I mean, Izuku said, "Don't lie. I know for sure that you are All Might's successor." As he said, "How do you know?" As he said, "The red lightning of your body and your strong movements and your agility and speed. These things that you should not have. Your quirk is hardening. He is not something like acrobatic skills or speed. You can only hardening. So you are technically now have two quirks." As he said, "Can you please not tell All Might about that?" As he said, "Oh, we don't need to. All Might no. All Might told me before." As he said, "What? Did All Might tell you before?" As he said, "Well, he wanted me to become his successor before you." As give me a minute, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. We continue. As Kirishima said, "Did he actually told you?" As he said, "Well," Izuku said, "Well, yes, he wanted me to become his successor before he chose you." As he said, "Really? Then why did you refuse? I mean, the number one hero power is something that I don't think a lot of people will gonna refuse it." As Izuku answered, "When he told me about his quirk, he said that his quirk will gonna upgrade mine. But when he said that, I start thinking that if I actually got my quirk upgraded, then I might won't be even able to control it anymore. Not even my Ultimatrix will gonna help me with that." As Kirishima said, "Oh yes, your transformation. Well, oh, well, thank you anyway. Did you tell him about me? Or anything?" As Izuku said, "No, I didn't actually." tell him about you or anything. I never know you actually, not before UA. As he said, well, I mean, that's stupid from me to say. Sorry. Izuku said, no problem. As they continue walking, as from behind Uraka came, say, hey guys, are you gonna go home? As they say, oh hey, Izuku said, oh, hey Uraka. As she's in his mind, and her mind said, oh, he's here. Why do I feel a little bit weird around him? Uraka, shake this thought out of your mind. You you are supposed to be a hero. At least in training. As she continued, can I walk with you? Well, with you guys. As Kirishima said, sure, why not? Of course, if not, if Izuku didn't refuse, as he said, why, I don't see the problem, why? As they start walking, heading home, as Izuku talking with Uraka and Kirishima, as Uraka asked him, well, you still didn't tell me about your quirk after I went in the entrance exam, the little deal that we made, as Izuku remember, and he said, oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. Well, sorry. As okay, we have a good time here. Let's talk a little bit about my quirk. As they start hearing about his quirk, how he can transform into a different creature based on his imagination and feelings, which all what he's saying basically a lie, of course. As he told him about the energy inside of him and how he can't control it because his emotion control his transformation while his imagination control how he will gonna look like, what the creature will gonna have of abilities. As he tell him, he used this ultimatrix which is he can't take off because it's connecting to his body and to his mind to two reasons, or three, or actually three reasons. First, the watch the time where the ultimatrix is make me able to control my transformation, so I don't transform randomly whenever I feel something. As a second reason, that the Ultimatrix give me the ability to choose from my transformation. She gave it gave me the ability to choose to move the energy inside of my body in the way that I will gonna transform into that specific creature. As their third reason is to make the pain of the transformation not exist at all. As Oraka and Kirishima said, pain? Do you mean? As Izuku said, yeah, every time I transform, well, before I got the Ultimatrix, I was feel a lot of pain in my body. All my bones break down and start rebuilding again. My DNA totally uh, broken and start come back together in a different way. My veins, my mind, my whole body just uh, reassemble and deassemble and reassemble again every time I transform, as they say. Sorry guys, my brother came into the room. As we continue saying this. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, we continue. As Kirishima and Uraka said, ouch, this very painful. As he said, yeah, so painful. As he said, okay guys, I need to leave because my house in that way. As they say, okay, goodbye, Izuku. As he say goodbye. As after he goes in a very big distance from them, he change his way back into UA. But before that, he goes under into a garbage can in an alleyway. He opened the garbage can as he look in the garbage as he takes out a metal box have the same symbol of the Ultimatrix on it. As he put that chest inside the garbage before he goes into UA when he was walking. As after that he changed into his vigilante clothes, which is the black and red hoodie jacket and the white mask with the two red lines in it. As he changed into these clothes, as after that he said, well, looks I need to get some information about some villains, and I'm sure UA have a big have a lots of information. As Izuku goes into UA, but not with his clothes, because everyone will gonna know that he's ultimate. He transformed into Ghost Freak, which is making him after he continue transform after he end of transformation, he use a Ghost Freak ability to basically disappear, that making no one know that he even here. As he goes into a using his camouflage ability, which make him invisible to everyone. He starts going through walls, looking around, searching for a room with a lot of servers room, the server room. As after some searching, he find the server room. As he say, "Great, I find it finally. Finally, I should have. Here should be a lot of information about villains. Let's see." As Izuku de-transformed into his human form, as he opened the one of the servers, as he take from his pocket a little what they call it. Wait. As he take from his pocket a USB flash drive, as and then putting it inside of one of the uh, uh, servers. As he when he put it in, the he start saying, it will take a long. If I use own smart my own mind, I will need 20 to 30 minutes. But as he flipped the dial of the Ultimatrix, transforming into gray matter, and then he said, well, now all what I will need is just 3 minutes. As he started hacking through the system with gray matter, as he said, this device is so easy to hack into. I can't believe that UA having such a very, very easy and stupid defense mechanism inside of their servers. As after that he put everything about all the information about a very dangerous villain on the USB, and then he transformed again into Ghost Freak and said, well, now I need to go. And before he go, someone opened the door to the server room, and he looks around. He sees nothing. As he said, I thought I heard a sound from here. Uh, I really need to sleep. I start imagining things. As this guy is basically Shoto Aizawa. As he closed the door, and after that, Izuku stopped using his camouflage. As he said, "Ooh, that was close. I need to get out of here." As he get out of here, as fast as possible. As if you ask me about the cameras, let's stop a little bit and talk. As for the cameras, you know that Ghost Freak is basically a ghost. He doesn't show up on cameras. And for when he transformed into gray matter, he made sure that the camera that was on that spot, on that specific spot, was destroyed. As he get out of UA, after that he goes on one of the roof buildings, taking off the USB and his phone, putting it inside his phone and looking in the files, seeing things about. Let's go back to this photo. Seeing things about the villains, very dangerous villains, as he looks at the 10 dangerous villains in Japan, as he look at the in the files, finding a villain called Ghost. As he looks, find that this ghost is female, where no one know her real name, but her quirk is called Ghost, just as her name is, giving her the ability to go through anything. As he said, interesting. As he continued looking through the files, he found about Ghost and about other couple of villains. As his eyes caught with the number 1, as he reading about it, he say, "All for one." Interesting. He's looking at the quirk is called All for One, just as his name. His file is filled with a lot, and I mean a lot of crimes, killing, destroying, stealing, but more importantly, stealing quirk, as he said. How interesting. Someone can steal quirk. No wonder. That All Might, that must be it. The one that injures All Might is him. I mean, his no one know whose really his name is or how old he is. He must have a lot of quirks, 1,000 at least. As he continued looking through criminals and things like that, a man from behind him came to him. As remember that he actually still wearing his mask. Ultimate, of course. I always call him in his vigilante name when we come into this part. As the man from behind said, "Hey kid." As once he said that, a lot of tentacles of Ghost Freak came out of Izuku's back as they start attacking the guy. As he start jumping through them and cutting some of them, dodging, and then Izuku turned around, turning his hand into two of his hand into heat blast arms, as he said, "Who are you? Who are you?" As the guy said, "Calm down, kid. First of all, my name is Stain, and you are Izuku Midoriya." Izuku is shocked, saying that, "How do you know?" As he said, "I saw you fighting a couple of villains, uh, trying to save your mother." As he said, After you defeated them and your mother left, you start tearing a little bit and you take off your mask. That when I was watching. As he said, and why you here? Do you want to kill me or something? As he said, killing you? What? Who do you think am I? As he said, I don't know. What's your name? As he said, I'm Stain, the hero killer. As Izuku remembered before a little bit of time, he was looking through the files he hear about the hero killer. As he said, so you are the hero killer, Stain. Hmm. Then why do you here and why didn't you tell anyone about my secret if you actually know me? He said, well, of course, because you are a true hero. As Izuku said, what? Stain continues saying, you are a true hero. You are killing villains and sometimes even fake heroes. You never killed a real hero. When you came across a hero, you know if he's fake or not. As he said, you only killed those who are fake. I saw you when you fight on the news, and I know who you killed from heroes. You killed a couple that I actually was going to kill myself. And I just came here to tell you that what you're doing is not the wrong thing. What you're doing is a very big serve to this society. And to tell you that your secret is safe with me. I will never gonna tell anyone about it. And in fact, I'm gonna try to protect your mother if she ever goes running into other villains. I'm gonna try to save her. I mean, I will save her. Just to tell you how you are doing a great serve to the society. From the day that you came in until now, the crime rate has been going down 10%, and this is a lot. I couldn't do this myself. Fake heroes are starting to get so small, and only true heroes are left behind. You make my job easy, and I really appreciate everything. And I wish in future we can work together. As Isuku's still in his state of fighting, his hand still hit Blast's arm as he said, well, I'm not trusting you, but thanks. As he said, well then, Ultimate, see you around. And if you ever need any help, just call my number. As he throw him a paper, a little card, as Izuku catching it, after deforming his left arm into normal hand. As he look in it, as he read the number, looking back as he doesn't see Stain anymore, as he said, the hero killer Stain. Well, he's in UA files, he's a criminal, as me also. As Izuku actually saying, well, he's a dangerous, but he's killing fake heroes, so I won't gonna stop him. As while he was reading the file, he find the hero killer Stain as the fifth in the spot 5 of the most dangerous villains in Japan, or vigilante. As Izuku was actually in the first place of the most dangerous vigilantes in Japan. As after that, Izuku continue his vigilante work as he is starting killing villains there and there, and sometime asking some villains about that ghost girl, as he said, "Do you ever see it?" Starts running around killing them and asking some questions. As in the end, he got his answer to where is Ghost basically. As after that, he's on the roof saying, "Well then, I'll find this ghost, and when I find her, she's a dead woman." As this is where I'm gonna leave off, guys. In the next part, we're gonna see how the things goes with Izuku and the ghost girl. As if you don't know who is this girl I'm talking about, it's basically the girl from Ant-Man and the Swamp. You know him, the Ant-Man, the girl. I'm gonna get a photo later on. As goodbye, guys. Severed was here.